Welcome to the Andrew Holland Podcast, where we explore the stories of successful people, get insight and advice from individuals who have accomplished amazing things, and dive deep into understanding ourselves as human beings. Now, here's your host, Andrew Holland.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Andrew Holland Podcast. We're actually not going to have a full episode this week because I wanted to give you an update on the podcast and a little bit of a change that we're going to do moving forward. Like any successful entrepreneur or business owner, you realize as you go through the process of growing your business, there are certain changes that you need to make to take it to the next level, to help your business achieve the full potential that it has the capability to do. Well, that's no different with the Andrew Holland Podcast. So moving forward, instead of focusing on getting something out every week, having a podcast every week, which is exactly what we've done for the past year and a half, we're going to be slowing the pace down a little bit, and we're going to be focusing on quality. Not that our previous episodes haven't been focused on quality, but like many things in business and in life, when you take the time to slow down, think, and wait for the right opportunities or the right guests to present themselves, you can focus on quality and perfecting your craft. So that's the approach that we're going to be taking moving forward. So for you as the listeners, what does that mean? Well, I still want you to listen and watch and subscribe to the Andrew Holland Podcast whenever we have an episode. And I can't tell you whether that's going to be every other week, every 3 weeks. I'm not focused on when the podcast is going to be coming out and the frequency, which I know a lot of people think, well, you got to be consistent and you got to get that frequency. We've done that for the last year and a half, and it's been incredible. And we've been so thankful for all of the support, all of the guests that we've had thus far. But moving forward, to ensure that I'm maximizing your time, that I'm perfecting the craft, and that we're taking the podcast to that next level, we're focusing on quality. We might have one every week for 2 weeks, and then we might not have one for 3 weeks. We might have one every other week for a month or two, and then it might be 4 weeks before we have one. My point in saying that is if you want to continue, and I hope you do, to listen to the Andrew Holland Podcast, please subscribe to it on YouTube or wherever you listen to all of your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube podcasts, so that you get the notifications when we post a new video. The timing of the podcast is not going to change, meaning if we post something, it's always going to occur on a Wednesday as it has in the past. So I wanted to give you that update in person. So when you logged in today or when you listened today, you weren't surprised by where's the episode, where's this week's guest. Because moving forward, you can expect an increased focus on that quality, the curation, so that we're maximizing your time and giving as much value anytime we put out a podcast as we can. For all of those who have been listening for the last year and a half, thank you so much for all the support. Please continue to support us. Like I said, subscribe to the Andrew Holland Podcast on YouTube, or if you listen to it on whatever platforms you listen to it, so you get those notifications when the new ones come out. Thank you so much for tuning in this week and all of the weeks. I hope and I think that all of you as listeners will find that this change is going to be a very advantageous one. And I know for us, on taking the podcast to the next level, growing what we are trying to accomplish, namely being a support system for anybody that's trying to accomplish something meaningful, and for understanding and delving into ourselves as humans, and we focus on the business side, that you're going to see the increased value, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and we'll talk to you when we have the next episode released. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Andrew Holland Podcast. Never miss an episode by subscribing to and liking our YouTube channel, the Andrew Holland Podcast, and by following and liking the show on your favorite audio platforms. Be sure to connect with us on X, formerly Twitter, A Holland Podcast. That's A Holland Podcast, so you can interact with Andrew, the team, and our guests throughout the week. Thank you again so much for listening. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.